All right, let's write another multi-graph essay. This one is a pie chart and a table from IELTS Academic 15. So as usual, we need to understand each statement. The chart below shows what anthropology graduates from one university did after finishing their undergraduate degree course. The table shows the salaries of the anthropologists in work after 5 years. So clearly we have a chart and a table. The first one is about their activities after their graduation, and the second one, the table, is about their salaries. So as you know, the instruction is always the same in writing task 1. We need to summarize the information and make comparisons where relevant. Step 2 is to understand the data. Let's begin with the pie chart. The biggest part, full-time work, 52%. I will mention that at the beginning. Then we have part-time work and part-time work plus post-grad study. I will put them together, I will group them because both of them are part-time work and the only difference is post-grad study. So I will put them together. Next, we have full-time post-grad study and unemployed. I will mention them together as well to make comparison. I will start with unemployed because it's bigger, and then full-time post-grad study. And finally, I will mention not known. So it's logical to start with the pie chart and then mention the salaries in the table. About the salaries, again, I will start with the highest percentages, 75,000 to 100,000. So I will mention these two parts first. I will make comparisons. Then I will mention the smallest percentages, 25,000 to 49,000. And finally, I will mention 50,000 to 74,000. And I will make comparisons as well. So for the overview, I will mention that the majority managed to get a job, and I won't mention unemployed or not known because that is a small part of the whole chart. And from the table, I will mention the highest parts and the potential for earning more. Freelance consultants and government sector, obviously, they had more potentials, so I will mention these two as well. Now, step 3 is to write. The first thing to write is the paraphrase. This is my paraphrase. The chart displays the destinations of anthropology graduates from a specific university, and the table presents their earnings 5 years into their careers. The first change, as usual, is to delete the word below because there is nothing below my writing. Instead of shows, I use displays. And instead of what they did, I used the destinations of them. And instead of from one university, I used from a specific university. And I combined these two tables by using and. So instead of the second shows, I used presents. And instead of anthropologists, I used the pronoun their to refer to them. And instead of in work after 5 years, I used 5 years into their careers. Now, this is my sample. We just read the paraphrase. Let's read the overview. So I said from the pie chart, I will mention they all got the job. From the table, freelance consultants and government workers get more money. Overall, most graduates secured employment opportunities, and their salary levels vary across different sectors, with the government sector and freelance consultancy offering the highest income potential. Now, I will start with the pie chart, and I will mention the points one by one. The majority of graduates pursued full-time employment, comprising 52% of the total. Now, the next two that I grouped. 15% of them engaged in part-time work, while a smaller proportion of 5% combined it with postgraduate studies. Now, the next two. However, 12% found themselves unemployed, compared to 8% who opted for full-time postgrad study. Opt means choose. And the last one, notably, 8% of the graduates had unknown destinations. Now we get to the table. As for their salaries, so I start with as for to mention the second point. 40% of freelance consultants and 30% of government employees earned at least $75,000, with 40% and 50% reaching the highest salary range of over $100,000 respectively. Now the last two in this part. In contrast, among those employed in private companies, only 25% earn a minimum of $75,000 and 30% over $100,000. Now the smallest part, Only 5% of the consultants and government workers fell into the lowest salary bracket of $25,000 to $49,000, whereas this figure doubled for private sector employees. And now the middle part. The highest wage level in private companies is 35%, corresponding to $50,000 to $74,000, in contrast to 15% for the same category in the other sectors. So the way you describe the data and the way you compare and contrast is actually a personal choice. I decided to start with the highest part and the lowest part and then the middle part. You could do it differently by mentioning the first part and then the third one. So it's a personal choice. I organized my essay in 4 paragraphs. In the first one, I paraphrased and wrote the overview. In the first body paragraph, I described the pie chart, and in the next 2, I presented the data from the table, and I wrote 200 words. In this slide, you can find the words that I used to describe the data. And in this one, you will find the linking words and also the language I used to compare and contrast. All right, hope you found it useful. Have a nice day.